Hi, I'm Stuart and welcome back to the channel. So today's going to be something a bit different. We're going to be doing an unboxing video on this. It's a lithium ion battery I've got for Rita the Beta. So the advantages of these lithium ion batteries is that number one, they have a higher cranking amperage, so they'll turn the bike over much more easily. But mainly it's the size and weight of them that we're looking for. Now we'll do a comparison with the old lead acid battery when we get it off the bike. There are some downsides too that you need to consider. The first is that they don't like being charged at anything over 15 volts. Now most modern bikes have a regulator rectifier that should be sufficient for this, but we'll do a quick check on ours before we install this. The other thing is you should be able to use your old lead acid battery charger, but if they have a desulfation mode on it, some of those can damage the lithium ion batteries. So I'm not sure about my old chargers, they are quite old, so I've actually indulged in a new charger which is suitable for lithium ion. Not very expensive. I think that this one's a cheap Chinese one, about 20 quid. So that should be good for that. So let's get on and look at the advantages of these. So we've got the multimeter connected to the old lead acid battery, and we see it's giving a healthy 12.8 volts. So now let's turn on the bike and see if the charging system delivers and make sure it doesn't go over our maximum. So you can immediately see we're up to 14.5. Now I'm going to rev the bike to give maximum. And you could see there that it peaked out at about 14.5. So this regulator rectifier is perfectly good. Right, let's get on and unbox this. And this is the battery itself, and as you can see it's absolutely tiny and it weighs very little. Let's get the old battery out and we'll do a quick weight check on it. Now I've taken the tool tray out, just give us a bit more room. Oh. Now we're going to need access to this battery tray because we are going to need to make some modifications for the smaller battery. So there's the two batteries together, and you can immediately see the enormous difference in size between these two batteries. So we're going to need to do some modifications to actually get this into the right position so that it doesn't rattle around and the connectors still fit. So if we continue with the unboxing, what else do we have? We've got the actual metal contacts to screw in there, but we've also got quite a few pieces of foam. So hopefully this is all sticky backed foam, closed cell stuff. With this we should be able to position the battery exactly where we need it. So let's just finish off our comparison and let's compare them in weight. I've been into the kitchen and stolen the weighing scales. Hopefully my wife doesn't see this. So first of all, the lithium ion monster, 2.7 kilos, 2,736 grams. Wow, quite a lump. Compare that now with the Shido lithium ion, 557. So we're saving over 2 kilos of weight off the bike, and that's quite considerable. But as I say, we are going to need to do some modifications to get this to fit. Now Before we go any further, I'm going to put this thing onto charge. As I said, I bought the new charger for it, but it does have a handy feature here in the centre. It does actually tell you how charged up it is. I say, while we're actually messing about fitting it on the bike, we will give it a charge as well. Right, let's go see how we can make this fit. I'm going to start off with doing some crude measurements, and then we'll refine it once it's on the bike. Let's start off with the height from the bottom up to the contacts on the old lead acid. That's 130 millimeters, and on the lithium ion it's 83. So we want roughly, I don't mind it sitting a little bit lower, so we want roughly 50 millimeters of height gained on those. And then on the depth, we've got roughly 70 millimeters deep on that one, and 52, so we want about 18 on the depth as well. And width wise, we've got 110 and 110, so width wise they're about the same. Yeah. Right, I'm going to stick some of these together and see if we can get the appropriate height out of it. Back in a minute. So that seems quite straightforward. If I use 5 of the small packers underneath and one of the large packers at the back, we end up with it just sitting slightly below where the original was, and I think that's pretty good. So the next job is to go and stick these on the bike, clean up the areas before we stick them, and then see how the battery fits. On to that. Now the battery compartment only has 2 sides and a base, the rest of it is open. So we'll have to use this face here to pack, because there's nothing on this side of the bike. And there's also some rubber strips in there already, and hopefully we can stick to those. But we'll give it a clean up first. Make sure there's no contamination when we put the new sticky pads on. I've got quite a lot of accessories, so there's quite a jumble of wires here that needs to go back, so hopefully I can remember how this all fits back together. Right, let's put some stickers in there. Right, that's just going to be a little bit tall there, so I'm just going to trim off this edge. Right, I've cut this edge, so we'll put that to the bottom so we get a nice neat finish, and that looks perfect there. Just do a quick test fit to make sure these are going to still go in. Yes, those are going nicely. So let's stick everything in place. It's always the nightmare when you're trying to get a sticky surface into a slot. Ah, that's perfect. Make sure we've got good adhesion on there. And then put the bottom ones in. Super. Right, let's do a test fit on the battery. Will the rubber strap still hold it? Yeah, that should be alright. We can always use the second hole they've provided if I need to make it tighter. Very good. I think we're almost there. So here's our second unboxing. That's our new charger. So we'll give it a quick charge, even though it says it's full. we'll give it a quick charge and make sure it's absolutely full up before we put it on the bike. Now, one of the reasons I went for this particular battery charger, the Super Bat, A, it was very cheap, B, it said it would work for lithium ions, but C, it came with some accessories. So it's actually got the standard battery connector ends on it, and it comes with a connector, a fuse connector to go on the bike, so we can charge on the bike, which is a nice accessory, and also the crocodile clips for charging on the bench. So let's put it together and charge the battery up. So like most modern batteries, we've got a digital readout here, and it does say that it is possible to charge this up some more. And it's got a mode setting here for 12 volt LFP. So I guess that's it now. We'll just leave it to charge up and we'll come back in a few minutes. Right, the weighing scales have been returned, and instead I've got myself a nice cup of tea. So how are we doing here? You can see our nice digital display says we're full. So let's go and fit it to the bike. Move this rat's nest out of the way. Slide our little battery in. Lovely. All we need to do now is connect it up. Right, I've slid the pigtail out down by my toolbox. Let's sort everything else out. Lovely. I just need to put the tool tray back in and we're ready to go. Now the only wire I've left out is this one because it's the main power line. It has the fuse, so I need to get to that. So we'll just leave that tucked at the top. And that's everything in. Nice and secure. All the fasteners are connected and tight. Jolly good. Final test. Right, so that's everything tucked out of the way. Final test is, do we have an operational bike? Well, the ignition's lighting up. Everything good. Don't think it's ever started up that fast before. So I think it's a very worthwhile modification. If you've got a couple of hours, put a lithium ion battery in, save yourself 2 kilograms of weight. All good, fits like a glove. So that's all from me. Until the next time.